The Twin Star. Summary: Bella Potter, hidden from the wizarding world for her safety, returns to Hogwarts during the events of Harry's 5th year. Her presence doesn't just strengthen Harry's resolve but also sows the seeds of doubt within Draco Malfoy, who finds himself torn between loyalty to his family and an undeniable attraction to the twin sister of his lifelong rival. The castle walls whispered secrets to Bella Potter as she walked beside her brother, taking in the sweeping view of Hogwarts. The past 16 years had been spent in secret, hidden away in America under the protection of a wizarding family who owed Dumbledore a great debt. Only recently had her true identity been revealed to her, that she was, in fact, the twin sister of Harry Potter. The very notion felt surreal, especially given that she and Harry were the same yet entirely different. Where he was dark-haired and emerald-eyed, Bella bore hair that was slightly lighter with streaks of red that shone in the sun, her eyes an intense shade of green. The twins shared the same lightning-bolt scar, though Bella's cut across her collarbone, a mark from that fateful night so long ago. As they walked toward the Gryffindor common room, Bella couldn't help but feel the weight of stares following her, some of curiosity, others wary, and a few downright hostile. Chief among the latter was Draco Malfoy, who seemed unable to take his eyes off her. Harry noticed his gaze as well and bristled, casting an annoyed look at Draco as they passed. "Why is he looking at you like that?" Harry muttered, keeping his voice low. "I can't trust him as far as I could throw him." "Maybe he's just surprised to see another Potter," Bella replied nonchalantly, but a strange feeling stirred within her chest. She wasn't naive, she'd heard plenty about the infamous Draco Malfoy and his family's allegiance. But she hadn't expected to feel drawn to him. Harry wasn't convinced. "Just stay away from him. Malfoy's dangerous." Bella sighed, giving Harry a reassuring smile. "I know how to handle myself, Harry. Don't worry." The first time Draco cornered her, it was in the shadows of the library. "Couldn't stay away, could you, Potter?" he sneered, though his voice held an unusual hesitancy. Bella raised her chin, undeterred by the smirk that was almost his trademark. "Funny. I could say the same about you, Malfoy," she retorted, her gaze unwavering. They stood in silence for a moment, each studying the other. Bella saw a flicker of something in Draco's eyes, a vulnerability she hadn't expected. He hesitated, clearly grappling with unspoken thoughts, before finally managing, "You and Potter. You think you're so special. Or maybe it just bothers you that, for once, you're not the center of attention," Bella replied coolly. "Isn't it exhausting, pretending to be someone you're not?" Draco's smirk wavered. She could see she'd hit a nerve. Without another word, he turned and disappeared into the shadows, but Bella sensed it wasn't the last she'd hear from him. In the weeks that followed, Bella couldn't ignore the changes she saw in Draco. She often noticed him watching her in the Great Hall, and at times, she felt his presence nearby, as if he were silently protecting her from afar. It confused her. The Malfoy she'd been warned about was supposed to be vicious and untrustworthy, yet there was an undeniable gentleness in the way he looked at her, attempted to conceal it beneath a facade of indifference. The real turning point, however, came late one night in the astronomy tower. She'd gone there for a moment of solitude, hoping to process the complexities of her new life. But she wasn't alone for long. "Potter." She turned to find Draco standing in the doorway, his silver blonde hair catching the moonlight. He seemed out of place, tense and unsure. "Are you going to keep following me around like this?" she asked, half amused, half frustrated. Draco stepped forward, hands clenched at his sides. You don't know what it's like for me, Bella. I'm trapped. Between what my family expects and what I. He trailed off, looking away as if ashamed. What do you want, Draco? She asked gently, her voice softening. He took a shaky breath, finally meeting her gaze. I want to break free from all of this. From him, the Dark Lord. But my family. I don't know if they'd survive the fallout if I chose to turn away. Bella felt a pang of sympathy she hadn't expected. She stepped closer, placing a hand on his arm. Sometimes the hardest choices are the ones that lead to freedom. You don't have to be alone in this. For a moment, he looked as if he might pull away, but instead, he leaned into her touch, letting her warmth seep into his icy resolve. It was the first genuine comfort he had experienced in a long time. Promise me you'll be careful, he murmured, his voice barely audible. The Dark Lord knows you're here, and he won't think twice about coming after you. I'm not sure how much longer I can maintain this facade of loyalty to him. I'll be fine, Draco, she whispered. But you need to make a choice. If you're not with him, then it's time to stand against him. With us. Draco nodded slowly, the storm in his eyes settling. For you, Bella. I'll try. Over the following months, Draco's allegiance to Voldemort wavered. He fed small, crucial bits of information to the Order through Bella, each message growing riskier than the last. Harry, though reluctant at first, eventually saw the change in Draco, even if it didn't erase years of resentment entirely. During the final battle, Draco fought alongside Bella, his wand aimed not at the classmates he'd once scoffed at but at the Death Eaters who had promised him a twisted version of power and loyalty. It was a grueling fight, but by the time the dust settled, it was clear that the Dark Lord's forces had been shattered. After Voldemort's fall, Bella and Draco found themselves standing in the ruins of the castle, bruised and battered, yet alive. Draco looked at Bella, his gaze filled with both relief and uncertainty. So, what now? Bella smiled, her green eyes filled with the warmth that had drawn him in from the very beginning. We rebuild. Together. He reached out, intertwining his fingers with hers, and for the first time, Draco Malfoy felt truly free.